everyone. First off, I think a big thank needs to go to Mark Hopkins for setting this event up. I met Mark earlier this year at an event in support of the High Performance Rodeo, and I know Mark is an incredible community leader. He has an incredible commitment to the arts community and to the community in this riding. So Mark, I just want to thank you for pulling this event together. But I also want to thank each of you for coming out in what looks like another spring snowstorm here. To Mark's comment, I think it's very important that all of us get involved in this election, regardless of political stripe. So it's great to see the turnout here, and I thank you for taking your time tonight to come out and meet all of us and ask some questions. I've been out in the community talking to people since the beginning of January in anticipation of the by-election, and I've really enjoyed talking to folks, but there's been sort of three questions that have come up over and over again, and I got that a bit tonight. Thank you. Who are you? Why are you running for office? And what is your party's platform? So I'll try and do that as briefly as possible in this 5 minutes, and then I'd really like to talk to all of you one-on-one afterwards as well. So in the spirit of the name of this event, let me start by telling you a little bit about myself so you can get to know me. My name is Michelle Rempel, and I'm representing the Conservative Party of Canada as your candidate for that party here in Calgary Centre North. I earned my degree in economics while working full-time to put my husband Jason and myself through school. I started my career working in the field of technology commercialization, which meant that I worked taking innovative early-stage research and moving it to market through patenting, market assessment, licensing, and startup company development. I spent several years with managerial consulting firm. During that time, I developed business plans, did some strategic planning, etc., for small businesses and institutions in the community. I also worked with the healthcare sector here in Alberta and actually set up a couple of primary care networks. The goal of these networks were to provide better access to primary care within the community. For the last 4 years, I've been with the University of Calgary working in a similar field that I started out with. I actually managed the university's sponsored research portfolio, which means that I work to help put together innovative research partnerships between industry and government and our research community. I manage a team of about 20 people, and it's been a great experience to be involved in that because the university is such a great part of our Calgary community. I also really enjoy giving back to the community. I've worked in volunteer leadership roles in the Calgary Northern Hills Community Association, in the Children's Wish Foundation of Canada, the Calgary chapter of that, Canadian Association of Gift Planners, and the Southern Alberta chapter of Equal Voice Canada, among other charities. So the question of why. I decided to get involved in the political process because I truly believe that our country is one of the greatest places in the world to live. And it's a privilege to enter into a life of service for those like you who work hard to make it that way. I believe that standing for office with the firm intent of bringing a very strong voice to Ottawa for you is one of the greatest ways to give back to your community and to give back to a community which has given myself and my husband so much. This is also why I'm running for the Conservative Party of Canada. I and my party, we believe that in order to provide the best services to you, be it healthcare, education, you name it, that we need to ensure that our economy is strong and that our taxes stay low while we support families, seniors, and work to make our streets safer. This is why our country is emerging from one of the worst recessions in recent history and one of the strongest positions of any G7 country. Since 2009, our economy has created over 480,000 new jobs, most of them being full-time, and I think that's something that's really remarkable and worth noting. Our party's record since coming into government in 2006 has seen many other positive accomplishments for this country, including, and you'll have to hook me off the stage, so I'll look for the rep, lowering taxes for working Canadians, starting with the reduction of the GST by 2 points. We've actually lowered taxes over 120 different ways since coming into government, and what that has translated to is a savings of about $3,000 for the average Canadian family of 4. We support choice in childcare, which is why we implemented a policy which parents now receive over $100 a month for every child, or sorry, $100 a month for every child under the age of 6. We introduced the Canada Students Grants Program, education credit and textbook tax credit, directly helping Canadian students. We introduced legislation to crack down on human smuggling. We raised funding to the Canada Arts Council by 20% to its highest levels. And we made the gas tax transfer, and this is a program which sees funding go to municipalities for sustainable infrastructure. We made that fund permanent. And we also have proposed to increase that to ensure that municipalities have access to funding for infrastructure. We've invested billions of dollars into funding for post-secondary education and research infrastructure funding. We've boosted clean energy investments to secure our country's position as the world's foremost, most clean energy superpower. We've worked hard to protect Canada's national heritage. Let me continue. And we've also preserved record amounts of parkland. We've increased our parkland, and we are committed to reducing pollution. We've also kept social payments for healthcare and education to provinces intact and well-funded, even through the recession. Our plan for the future focuses on 5 priorities: creating jobs through training, trade, and lower taxes; supporting families, including something that I'm really excited about, which is our family tax credit, which is the income splitting for families with children under 18; eliminating the deficit by 2014 and 2015; making our streets safer through new laws to protect children and the elderly; and standing on guard for our country by cracking down on human smuggling and strengthening the Canadian Armed Forces. I believe that the Conservative Party, I'll be happy to take your question afterwards. I believe that the Conservative Party's plan is the best to see our country through from the economic recession's recovery through the next 10-15 years. And furthermore, as an Albertan and as a Calgarian, I would fight the use of rhetoric and unwise policy which would denounce our natural resource sector and its importance to the Canadian economy. As a representative in Ottawa, I'd fight to ensure that the unique needs of the city and this province are heard in Ottawa, and I would do that by listening. I know I'm going to have to listen hard to you, to learn a lot of things, and that's my commitment to you in the go forward, should I have the opportunity to represent this riding in Ottawa. So as I said, the thing that I've enjoyed the most over the last few months has been talking to all of you. I look forward to talking to the rest of you tonight after the formal portion is over. And again, thanks Mark, and thanks to the rest of the candidates for coming out tonight.